It is Monday, July 7th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. And without further ado, let's get into the news. It looks like WWE has signed Octagon Jr., the talent from AAA, is now part of the WWE banner. Look, they're going to try their best to pump up AAA to make it competitive on par with CMLL. Rusev, aka Miro, Rusev, formerly known as Miro, was released from AEW. His time came to him because, creative. He did not want to lose. Tony Khan pushed his man, and then when he figured out that he was on his way out, he just didn't want to lose, and that sucks. And this has now changed the way in which AEW signs former WWE talent. The WWE's all and Vince McMahon are trying to fight Janelle Grant's push for new evidence in their trafficking lawsuit. Listen, this isn't going anywhere. The lawsuit was filed, back in January of 2024. It accuses Vince McMahon of sex trafficking and sexual assault, also claiming WWE has enabled his behavior. She is going to bat for this. An announcer has announced that he is re-signed with AEW head of Dynamite 300 last week. There'll be none other than Iya Riccaboni. Welcome back to the Iya Riccaboni zone. He is staying with AEW and Ring of Honor. This is just a good deal for everybody. Britt Baker wants out of AEW, but she is not going anywhere. They're going to add injury time to her contract. She's not being let go. And listen, I personally would let her go. She adds no value to the women's division. She adds no value to the AEW women's division. She adds no value to the WWE women's division or the NXT women's division. Everything has just passed her. But the locker room is kind of split. She has her supporters, but she also has lots of detractors. AEW is also interested in a former WWE talent to be none other than Isla Dawn. Top talent. She's probably one of the top women's free agents in professional wrestling. But here's the thing, their roster is bloated. What will you do with her? And you're not even using Deonna Purrazzo or Taya Valkyrie or Nyla Rose right now. So what will signing Isla Dawn do? And you're also bringing in Alex Windsor already. It's tough. Staying with AEW, the Jon Moxley lawsuit filed against AEW by one of their few former crew members on assault claims is being shifted over to federal court. The plaintiff, he's claiming that he suffered severe neck injury. So we'll see how this ultimately plays out. Triple H is under fire for, get this, racism. Let's just call a spade a spade. They do be acknowledged 4th of July. Smackdown literally fell on the 4th of July, but the WWE did not acknowledge Martin Luther King Day. They did not acknowledge Black History Month. They did not acknowledge Women's History Month. They did not acknowledge Pride History Month. It's just not a good look on their part. Yeah, it's just not a good look. Evolution 2 tickets are not selling well. Reported by WrestleTix, the stadium is set up for little over 6,600 seats, and they've only distributed a little over 4,800. That is not good. This is what happens when you try to counter program one professional wrestling company, try to counter program your competitors, and the women are upset because they feel like if Evolution 2 fails, they feel like they've been set up by the company and they'll be the ones to take the rap for it. It is not good. Sticking with AEW and WWE's counter programming them, guess what? WWE's announced a special NXT show at the Met here in Philly. It's a great venue. It's going to be really unique to see them use it, but what's so special about this? It's coming 8 days before AEW's residency at the 2300 Arena, the famous, illustrious former ECW arena. It's a joke right now. Ric Flair shares surgery update about his ongoing health battle. He says he's dealing with cancer and a few other things. He's putting his health first. He's battling melanoma, a form of skin cancer, and he had surgery all ready. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are out with an injury. That's what's being reported, but Tyler Bate is pushing back on that. Chad Gable had his surgery. He will be out for a good minute, maybe for the rest of the year. Ruby Soho's getting back to the ring. She's not injured. She was just out on maternity leave. It's good to have her back. Zoe Stark says she should be back somewhere early next year. She's got about 8 months to go in her injury recovery, but that is the news, and we should be right back with the weekend review. Let's get into the weekend review. You know how we do. We got Monday Night Raw. This is the Fallout show for Night of Champions. We open up with Rhea Ripley. She says hopefully the Judgment Day are behind her. Io Sky comes out, interrupts her, and says, Pierce said I get to choose my opponent for Evolution. I want the best, and I choose you. So they're going to do this dance once again at Evolution. I have no idea why they didn't have Io pick Asuka. Like we've seen Io versus Rhea. Which means I think Rhea's probably going to win, but why not choose Asuka? Dominic Mysterio has the doctor's note for his injury, so he's not facing AJ, and AJ is not happy. The Judgment Day defeated the New Day to win the tag team titles. Let's just say they ultimately failed the New Day, and the heat they got for kicking Big E out, they completely wasted this run. Bayley doesn't accept Lyra Valkyrie's apology, so Pierce makes a number one contenders match between the two for later in the evening. Bayley's right. You had no, you can be personal between you and Becky, but you had no reason to get involved in our match. You could have just waited. Chad Gable tells the Creeds that while he is out, they are to listen to Ivy. Now, Roxanne Perez can replace Liv Morgan as tag team champion, but they went up defending the belts in a fatal 4-way at Evolution. Rusev and a slobber knocker defeated Sheamus. El Grande Americano is here, confusing not only the Creeds, but also Ivy as well. And during this backstage interview, Karrion Kross ended up attacking Sami Zayn. So it looks like they are not done. Gunther does not care about Goldberg and will make sure he wish he never returned. He's going to end him for good. Seth Rollins comes out and tells Gunther, listen, I got involved with Punk's match, not to cash in, but to make sure he never wins the world championship. It's got nothing to do with you, but I can also cash in on you. Punk comes out and chases Seth away, and he ends up pushing Gunther. And then while Seth is up in the near the concourse in the vestibule, LA Knight ended up attacking him. Raquel Rodriguez is reluctantly the last person to end up voting Roxanne Perez into the group, so she's officially part of the Judgment Day. Bayley and Lyra fight to a draw, so you know what's probably going to happen at Evolution, probably a triple threat match. LA Knight tells Punk to get to the back of the line when it comes to Seth Rollins. In the main event, Sami Zayn is hurt, but he will fight, and him and Penta still end up losing to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Jey Uso made the save after the match. Over on Dynamite, this is Dynamite 300. This show gets a thumbs up. Hangman Adam Page wants Mox in a Texas Death Match. And Mox doesn't think that Hangman has what it takes. They brawl, and the Riders end up attacking him some more. The Ops back him up. Mox accepts the challenge, and then Hangman drops Marina Shafir with a buckshot lariat. Mercedes Moné defeats Mina Shirakawa, retaining the TBS championship. She gets the upper hand on both Mina and Toni Storm after the match. The Bucks reminisce about growing up right outside of where they are in Ontario, California, and to celebrate Dynamite 300. MJF wins the number 2 spot in the Gauntlet Battle Royal. This match also featured Brody King, I want to say Kevin Knight, and no, Brody King, MJF, AR Fox, and Anthony Bowens. MJF didn't do a lot during the match. He tried paying off Brody. That didn't work. He now dresses like MVP to wrestle, but he ultimately won the match, stealing the W, tapping out AR Fox. After the match, Jet Speed, Briscoe wants to have a talk with MJF next week, so they'll have that. Jet Speed attacks the Hurt Syndicate, and they just won't die, referring to Jet Speed. Hurt Syndicate keeps beating them up over and over And over in the Bucks and Takeshita defeated Bandido, Colorado, and Roderick Strong in a fun match. Swerve Strickland and Ospreay attacked the Bucks after the match and then challenged them to a match at All In. The Bucks are like, why do we have to really do this? Does the Ospreay and Swerve want them to put up the EVP status? And like, well, why would we do that? So Ospreay's like, okay, if we lose, we can't challenge for the world title for 1 year. And Swerve is like, nigga, what? But ultimately agrees, and we'll get to the preview for the show later this week. Ospreay and Swerve ended up defeating Drilistico and Beast Mortals in the main event. Okada defeated Kota Ibushi in a fantastic affair. Kenny Omega made the save after the match. Over Impact, we are closing in on Slammiversary. This show gets the fifth Inspiration defeated Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford. Indy challenges Tessa to a match, and the Inspiration will get a tag team title shot at the same pay-per-view. Cedric Alexander and the Grey Hands fight off Ali in his Secret Service. This was all about banking on the history of Ali and Cedric being the heart and soul of 205 Live, and them carrying that division for a long time while it was, there. Masha Slamovich defeated Killer Kelly in a chain match, retaining the Knockouts Championship. Fatal Influence ended up attacking Masha, so we're going to get a champion versus champion match at what's that pay-per-view? Slammiversary. Laying Lee and Zaya Brookside made the save. The Armory must once again prove themselves to Eric Young. Santana will walk out as world champion at Slammiversary. The fans got him into that match. Matt Cardona defeated Eddie Edwards. During the match, Myers tried to convince Eddie not to use his ring on Cardona, allowing Cardona to get the roll up. Dark Stays then end up attacking Cardona. Someone ended up attacking the hometown man. We don't know who. Jake Something and Mance Warner went to a no contest after Steve Macklin attacked them both, and he'll put his championship on the line against both of them at Slammiversary. Nick Nemeth defeated Zachary Wentz. And in the main event segment, Kaz debuted his new talk show. His first guests were Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, and Mike Santana. The main event for the World Championship match at Slammiversary. And look, this will be a feel-good story for Santana and Hendry, but Trick says he'll beat both of them like he's already done. Trick attacked both, and he and Kaz ended up standing tall. Over on SmackDown, this show gets a thumbs down. This was not a good show. This show had 4 matches, and they were all tag matches. Wow. Jacob attacked the Bloodline as they were coming into the building. Security separates them. Cody is king, and Randy understands that he hesitated, but Cody didn't, which is why Cody is going to face John Cena at SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre returned, and he got dropped with an RKO. He'll get Randy at Saturday night's main event. Nick Aldis convinces Charlotte and Alexa to team together and puts them in a #1 tag team match. Jacob Fatu gets the Bloodline in the tag team match if he can find a partner, and it will be none other than Jimmy Uso. Charlotte and Alexa defeated Michin and B-Fab and the Secret Herberts to be added to the Evolution tag team title match. So we're missing 1 team from Raw and 1 team from NXT. During this match, Alexa actually stole the win from Charlotte. Nick Aldis makes 4 of the tag team wrestlers from the tag team division face the Wyatts. The Wyatts still end up winning that match. Julia wants to challenge. She is now, your United States champion. Tiffany Stratton chooses Trish Stratus as her Evolution opponent. Naomi attacked Jade Cargill backstage. The Bloodline is now my family trio. It's kind of we figured what the MFT stood for. Andrade and Rey Fenix defeated Fraxiom. Aleister Black think it's over between him and Truth, but Priest says, Truth doesn't believe that. You should get ready. And in the main event, Jacob and Jimmy defeated Solo and JC Mateo. The MFE still ended up beating all of them down after the match. Over Collision. This was Collision 100. So we had Collision 100 and Dynamite 300 in 1 week. I miss Rampage. I'm just letting you know that I still miss Rampage. Adam Cole vows to hold on to the TNT title no matter who he's facing at the pay-per-view. So Kyle Fletcher and Dan Garcia both won a title shot, so they'll face each other in a number of contenders match later in the evening. Toni Storm says she will end Mercedes Moné at All In. Kevin Knight beat Nick Wayne and Shelton Benjamin in a triple threat match. So looks like we're going to get the triple threat match for the tag team titles at And Claudio wants the ops at All In. Looks like we might get a trio championship match. Mark Briscoe, Hologram, and Mystico defeated Roppongi Vice and Hachicero. MJF says he's going to beat Briscoe when they face each other at some point down the line. I remember they got that talkie talk on Dynamite coming up. Scorpio Sky made his return. He is now accompanied and aligned with Top Flight and Layla Gray. He's being managed by his good friend Christopher Daniels, and you know what he did here? He survived 5 with the best wrestler alive, winning in a little under a minute. Ricochet shows the Gates of Agony over a beaten Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Willow Nightingale defeated Vipers. Billy Gunn wants Bowens to trust him. Helps him up. They did a little sad scissoring, but I like where we're going with this. FTR in a fantastic, this might be my favorite match of the entire week. Defeated the Outrunners. This was a fantastic tag match. Julia, Thekla, Megan Bayne, and Athena defeated TJ, Queen Aminata, and Thunder Rosa. And we're going to get the other half of who gets the number 2 spot in the women's gauntlet. It would be Ty Mello, Megan Bayne, Thekla, and Queen Aminata. And in the main event, Kyle Fletcher defeated Dan Garcia to earn a TNT title shot at All In. Our matches of the week: from Raw, Rusev versus Sheamus. From Dynamite 300, we got 3 of them things. Mina Shirakawa versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. The Young Bucks and Konosuke Takeshita versus Bandido, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Also, fantastic affair with a returning Kota Ibushi, him versus Kazuchika Okada. From Impact, Masha Slamovich versus Killer Kelly in a chain match for the Knockouts Championship. From Smackdown, Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Fraxiom. From Collision, FTR versus the Outrunners. Also from a Collision, Kyle Fletcher versus Daniel Garcia. Star of the week, I was kind of struggling with this, but no. After looking back over everything, it's got to go to Kota Ibushi. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look up on the screen what we got coming up. And you know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.